Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am currently sewing cardboard, except I originally wanted to truly sew the cardboard, but first of all, this string, it's really interesting. It's very fibrous, but because of that, because of how light and airy it is, it actually breaks really easily and definitely it gets caught on fabric, but it absolutely really badly gets caught on cardboard. So what I'm doing is I'm just stabbing. It's also really hard to get the needle through. But I'm just sort of stabbing these holes in the cardboard and then threading it through just once and then tying it so it hangs down, basically like tassels or something. But yeah, this is for my sculpture project right now, and it's probably one of my least favorite projects ever. It's all because of me, because I do actually like my idea a lot. Like, it's not the idea that's the issue, it's actually the craftsmanship is really bad. And it's because I completely rushed. Like, I was not giving the time and attention and care needed in the construction of this, which is all with cardboard, and it shows. But I felt really bad about this and stuff, but I literally just decided, because I always do this with, with everything that you do, especially with art, and especially for me, because I usually make more abstracted things, I definitely relate to making something. Like, I have to just start making something. I can't have too much of a plan before. It always I always just work as I go. That's how I do things. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, what I'm trying to say is during the process of making something, and also after making something, and then kind of just having spent all that time with it, I sort of develop a meaning to it. Because, and part of me felt like, oh, that's not cheating, but does it really count if you just create your sort of intention behind it after? Can that even work? But honestly, I'm gonna argue yes, because I think that I think it is just absolutely valid to make something, and while you're making that thing, you sort of, I don't know, you sort of see your creation in a new light, you know? It makes sense that while you're making something, spending all that time with it, the sort of, some of these ideas or feelings come out within that. And the whole point I'm trying to make is that the construction is bad, the craftsmanship is bad, the structural integrity is concerning. It kind of looks like a pile of trash, but this actually can work for my purposes, because this project has to do with nature, and it's specifically inspired by a protected piece of nature. That, and even though it was a protected piece of nature, and when I say protected, I mean it is designated as a special natural space, and so there's park rangers and stuff, and people making sure that other people aren't doing anything to harm the land, but still there's trash, there's random waste. Okay, I just flipped this so now you can see what I was doing, tying these strings on the other side, but I have to do the other side. yeah, this construction is actually insane. But, you know, I think this specific class, the way that it's sort of structured and intentioned, is, of course, to care about these things, but I think it's more about the sort of mental and emotional processes that, you know, we go through as not only Benny! No! No, Benny, you can't play with this string.
No, no, no. Benny! No, don't do that.
Okay, this is a struggle. So I've been puncturing it with this tiny needle, then I go back in with this thicker needle, but it's still difficult. I've been wanting to like make a new video so bad, and I have literally filmed. Benny, stop. Stop.
Benny! Oh my god.
Okay, I just covered that side so that Betty wouldn't play with the yarn. I was really impressed with him because this whole time when I was doing the first side, he didn't play with it, but I guess that's because it was facing me and now it's facing him, so, you know. But anyway, as I was saying, I swear to God. Okay. As I was saying, I have filmed a bunch of videos and I've been wanting to post something, but I have literally been having the hardest time recently speaking. Like anything having to do with words recently, speaking, writing, this shit has not been working. Like, I mean, honestly, the reason why is just because I've been having to like consider vocabulary, like the way that words are put, like all the sort of like everything that could be like charged within a word, I've been having to consider, I guess, or within like a phrase or way of saying things, and I just like, it's been putting me off so much to like just speaking, or I don't know, like I have been talking, but I find it hard because it's like I want to say things the right way or the way that I mean to say them, and then I don't know, it's just difficult, but hopefully it's getting better. Like today, talking words feel easier, but yeah, also that's another thing, like I literally was just saying earlier this week, like, that I wanted to focus more on, like, writing-based work because I felt like I could better explore and represent the things that I wanted to, opposed to, like, making art and sort of expressing it through that. But then I was like, wait, things are going quite the opposite. Like, it actually was so much easier to express just like myself, but also like ideas or sort of fascinations I had through art. And the best thing is like art just like does not have limitations. Like it can really be anything. Ooh, ouchie. But that's one of the best parts because I do not like limitations when I'm making something. Yeah, who does like limitation? I mean, sometimes, well, I shouldn't just say that fully because like I guess I don't want to be limited in like my ideas or how I do things, but I will say like finding the like physical limitations or sort of like things that don't work out in making art, that's like my low-key, it's one of my favorite things because like I said, I work just sort of on the fly. Like I like to think as I work and just work kind of intuitively. So when something doesn't go as planned, it forces me to like think to like the next step. Like, you know, when people are like, okay, think of an idea, and then they're like, think of it 3 more times, or like plan something. Like if you've ever done projects before, it's like make a thumbnail and then make like 4 more for your idea. And it's like sometimes the first one is the best, but honestly, almost always my later ones are better. And so kind of having to change things from your original plan in your work can actually be a gift. Makes you use your brain. And I think that in making art, it's really easy to pivot and problem solve because, like I said, I feel like there's just not as many limitations. Like, it's expected to look different from everything else, you know? Like, that's not an issue. And I find it hard for things to fit into things that I do, difficult to fit into structures or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Just kidding. I actually really do feel this way, but it depends on the person, you know? Some people like confinements, and sometimes I do too. Like sometimes I'm just like so over having to think very deeply and creatively about things, or like my work being so dependent on sort of this like just like very like things that are very conceptual. I find myself having to do very often because that's the type of stuff I like, and just a lot of the things I study, it's necessary to kind of get conceptual with things, but it can be really exhausting to always have to do that because, you know, like how some work, it's like you just like do something a certain way and you've done it. And in the stuff I'm doing, it's like you have to like build things piece by piece because there is literally, the whole point is that there is absolutely no like layout or road for you to take. Like you have to make your own road basically. I mean, of course there are instructions and examples, but when it really comes down to the things that you're doing, it needs to be sort of self-made. Like, yeah. So that can be exhausting, but it is at the same time a gift for me, in my opinion. Otherwise, I have been trying to realize in the moments that I live that like, oh, I'm just right here. Because I find myself always under the assumption that like some type of like entity or stress that I have is like lurking right here, like in my face or like all around me. And it's like, but those things aren't there. Like, I don't have to concern myself with these things when I'm not doing that right now. Like, and it's really, really hard to like actually live in the present and like realize moments of like rest, peace, or like safety to be true. But I'm trying to, and it makes me feel a little bit better to like consciously be like, yo, you're fine. Like, you're totally fine. Like, you're just, like, you are literally existing. You see the world, you're in the world. Okay, I don't know. I feel like that sounds kind of weird, but it is just so hard to stay out of my mind sometimes. And yeah, I had it down for like 2 years when I was a teenager for some reason. Like, I could listen to myself so easily, but another component to that is that I could listen to others very easily, and it made it a lot easier to take sort of advice or mindsets, like full, like wholeheartedly believing in them, because I was just very impressed by many things and I was really interested in many things. And so if I just like, there are many instances where I just read one book or watched one documentary and literally could like become a new person by the end. And I think that there is certainly an amount of beauty in that and in sort of like exploring all these different things so far in my life, but I'm much more critical now of everything, and I'm not only critical, but I also struggle to believe in things or subscribe to ways of doing things. So it's just like literally way harder to listen to advice or something. I shouldn't say advice, but sort of like, you know, like mindset advice. I mean, it can be helpful. It just really depends, is what I'm trying to say. Like, well, maybe that is all for now. I'm not really sure what else to say. Maybe I will sort of take a video of my sculpture and show you guys. You know, it also could have been a lot better if like I painted well on it, because I painted these faces in fluorescent paint, or not like faces, but like sort of faces, like very incomplete, like tree faces, you know, and eyes. But I did them very haphazardly and they don't look very good, but like that's just how it's gonna be, you know? Like it's over. But I do wish that I painted those better. But whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna go now, but thanks for watching, and hopefully you guys will get to see this yarn put to use soon. Bye.